Hey y'all, how y'all doing today? Everything's good? Let's see my background here. Let's step back to yeah. Let's get some machinery back there. Yeah, there we go. It's even better. All right, so listen, this was popping. Today we're gonna go with the Holy Quran, not holy but El Quran, which is a little different. It's explaining about the religion of Islam. Well, let me before y'all start getting upset because people holding on to a lot of things that we need to let loose. But look, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to heal you right now. If you believe in Isa ibn Maryam, you believe in God, if you believe that you can achieve perfect health, that you're a new Christ, you are a new body of Christ, you are Christ and special, you are part of the hour that was in our Father. You are part of creation, the breath of life in you. Then you are now healed. You are healed by the bloodline of Jesus Christ. And that's who I am. Not only the bloodline of Jesus Christ, it goes back further than that, but we don't have time for that right now. But hold your hands and put your hands on the screen. Put your hands on the screen and say, I believe in Jesus that will heal me and give me the strength and energy to activate my DNA. And that's it. It's done deal. You see back there, right there? That's the third eye. Here's another third eye so you can see it up close. Third eye with the third eye. Third eye teaching the third eye. So you got a third eye, I got a third eye. From the darkness into the light, the green is the chlorophyll, the energy. The green is the chlorophyll's energy. The green is actually the yellow and the blue. Make up green. The yellow is the intellect. The blue is the sky, the reflection of the light, the water, Maya, or Abla. So there's many ways to say water. So with today, we're going to talk about that 19, man. This 19 is like, whoa. Everybody walk around with masks, but you know, when you did it before, because you know about Leviticus 13 was the original reason for putting on the mask. Leviticus 13 and 14 chapter was leprosy. Leprosy is leproma. Leproma is a defect. You see, really interjection, infection of what we call the microscopic, the little things that we can't see. Okay, so basically, Leviticus 13 and 14 was the first thing of putting over something over your face so you would not incur those people who were either had the disease of leprosy and you didn't know it, or they had the disease and you didn't. Either or. All right, so this is a put a little joke with that. So I'm Yippee, right? Young preacher, youngster, and my aim right now is for you to put the reversal on old age. You know, I cannot wait for my team. When I turn back, they'll be there. But right now, I'm doing this right here. I'm proceeding with the book, and we're gonna go through certain parts of this book, El Holy Quran, written by or translated by Dr. Malachi York for the HTM. If you don't know what HTM is, you need to go find out. This is not that type of party. Okay, so basically, what I really want to express today is it says, begin all things using the nameless, the sustainer, the generous creator. Okay, and when we go from there, it goes from Bismi, right? Allah, Ar-Rahman, Rahim. So it goes to show you that each letter, bis, which is 3 letters, the ba, the sin, and the meme. So those are 3 letters. And then you have what they call the next letters on there, right? But if you count the letters of the tasmia, then now the tasmia means protection. So when people say the protection, what is the protection? The protection was that which protected you from things that you didn't even know about. Now we got something that's under the radar, slipped in through the system, didn't get a passport. Now they call it COVID-19. Okay? So now whose fault is that? Now you got the global, you got the United Nations, you got the health, you got scientists, engineers, billions and trillions of dollars, and what? Who they blame it on? Okay, so what happened is it's their fault because it's their authority, as they say. But now I'm going to teach you that what they say is not the way it's supposed to be. Now you got other people who have not learned true unity. So now you got the same side fighting each other. Now a house divided against itself cannot stand. Okay, so we're going to see a whole lot of things going down the road that's already prophesied by, guess who? Not me. Not me. Because that wasn't my job. My job is to explain as it happened right now. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to step up to the mic and I'm going to explain to what's going on right now. But the prophecies wasn't by the Christian ministers, you see. The prophecy was by one man, and his name was Dr. York. It's just, you know, he hit it out. He hit it. He was so far ahead of himself, he had to change it up, spin it around, and come from another point of view. That's why he called himself the hub. See, but within all this that was being done, right, there was others that was qualified, but they was put on the bench. And I was one of those that was put on the bench. At the time, I was faith and fate. See, I was faith. I was the evidence that of things that was to come. And went out there, taught it, said this is what it is, this was going to be, and what's going down. But people don't want to listen. So anyway, we're going to talk about the 19. You got the ba, the shin, the meme. That's bismi. Okay? The ba is to take away, to steal, the wrestle, the carry away by force. The shin is to encanter or fascinate. Fascinated, turn to things. That's right. People are fascinated now. They're happy. They feel that they protecting themselves. They walk around with masks on. That's the same thing that was happening before when Islam was infiltrated. You know, people say, "Oh, I got Islam. I don't need to study no more. We don't need to do nothing. We got the book. You gave us the answers. You know, we the answers now, but you didn't start teaching it. You didn't establish yourself. You didn't do nothing, but you just sat there. But it's okay, because this was already visioned a long time ago. So you got meme, right, which means quarrel, argument, dispute, and doubt, from the word morale, okay, or ma'ra'il, okay. So now, all this in the Bismillah was for the protection. At the same time, they used symbols, which was the letters, that represent other things at the same time. So basically, Each letter can be a whole book. So when you read a word and then you go to Funk and Wagner, that's a dictionary. Webster, that's a dictionary. Unabridged, bridge, it don't make a difference. It's still created by what they call the G factor with the protractor and the square. The protractor was the circle and different degrees, and the square was to measure the angles. And the G, right, was a circle and a square that it was used, but the G was also represent the good or God. And at times they were the guardians of what they taught because they was the author of what they wrote. Once you write something, you become the author. In time, if nobody says anything about it, they become the authority of what is written until somebody come along like you were supposed to, and bam, say blah 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 blah. But people put a rope on the tongue, tied the tongue behind their neck, and didn't teach. The whole thing was to, they call it propagate, but they were supposed to teach. It was not preach, teach. The difference between preaching and teaching, because preaching came into the category of what they call brimstone and fire. And this was the false imagination of those who had you and put fear in you, even to the words of your surroundings or your habitat, environment. I mean, when you say environment, it didn't say the beginning. It didn't say in the middle. It said in your environment. And then that goes into other words too, that we're not going to talk about it right now. But when you talk about habitat, you're talking about your surrounding, taking you out your habitat, making you submissive to your creation, which is your children. Isn't that funny? Your child telling you what to do. You don't know what to do. I don't know. Why you don't know what to do? When you were given the ability to teach them, because you did not teach them, they got taught by other people. Now, other people is leading them to lead you into the slaughter. I call it a conveyor belt. From fetus, toddler, young adult, teenage, adult, to old people, elderly. So each section of this belt, and the belt moves. And once the elderly get here, they off the screen. And then these people come to elderly, and then that's how it goes. So they continue. It's like they continually recycling, just like the system of things is always recycled. This is not the first time things is getting ready going like it is going right now. So it's okay. It's okay because you've been through it. You know, you was always on the bottom, right? Because the bottom was the base. Now the top, you see, was the ruling class, and in the middle, right, it was the people that was orchestrating, you know, or officiating, you know, the system of things for the base and to run the base as the people on the base. So what we did, we turned the base upside down and flipped it. See, so when flipping the base, see, now things is a little bit different. But what was done, they kicked it to the side. They want everybody to be eliminated. It's called depopulation. That's the sad part. That's the sad part. You know, they're trying to eliminate people. But we're going to get back on here. So you got Aleph. Aleph means smooth and even. Anything length. Then you got Lam, right, which is LABLE, to flame, burn, blaze, to kindle, light, set on fire. And then you got Lam again, all right, Lamzel. He made a sign with the eye. He blamed, he found. And Ha, or Hazel, to shake, to swing, banish, wave, sway, meet without separating, made an incision in it, or he cut it with. Aleph, Arazel, the heavenly loss, serious damage, disaster, and calamity. So we got right now what I've read to you. I said Bismi, Allah, right? Which is A, L, R, and B, right? So I broke it down to you and here. So what's going on? Let me go back one time because you probably get confused about what I'm saying. But it's okay. It ain't my fault. Okay. I'm gonna show you the book where you can see the numbers of Bismillah. It goes from here. Right. See. $19 letters right there. So you can read it. You can read it in the back. I'll leave it up there for a minute. It said number 19, the best at everything, the Most High. Okay. So now you got that. I'm gonna read it for you right now, real quick. It said the number 19 is the best at everything the Most High does. The best of everything the Most High. Now, when we're talking about microscopic things, right? Who created that? If you say God created everything, you love Jesus, and you know Jesus is protecting you, why are you worried? Why are you actually worried? Or are you taking this to use this just to be happy? Whatever. Anyway, number 19 is the best at everything the Most High does. Everything existent acquired its beginning from the all. His powers and greatness is reflected in the many facets of the number 19. So we're talking about the facets of number 19. What we're talking about basically is from this to this to that to that to that. So those are facets. Those are different, just like a diamond. A diamond has facets. And in the diamonds of the faucet, the diamond can be here, but the faucet could be shining this way, the faucet could be shining that way. See, if it's a sphere, a circle, it'd be shining all around like the sun. So we talking about 19 faucets, right? It says the number 19, these two attributes, the many facets of the number 19. These two attributes, al-awalu, right, which is the 72nd attribute, and al-kaharu is the 73rd attribute, show all will eventually return to the Most High. For he did not need any source of help in the beginning, nor will he need it in the end. So those who are inspired by the Spirit of the Most High, right, were given permission to do the works on earth. So they don't need no permission. You don't need no permission. I don't need nobody. Who permission I need to do the work of the Most High? So you want to say Allah? Okay. That's warranted. That's warranted by what they call the Suhuf. Suhuf was the 12 and the 12 tribes of Ishmael, 12 tribes of Israel. So that's the 24, which was the 24 to what they call the circumference of the earth, 24,000 miles. It's the same thing, 24 hours in a day. So that's warranted. Everybody gets. So now the vision of the Ishmaelites and the vision of the Israelites, right, at one point is going to come together, right? And to put that brace of coming together, either you want to put it up this way But basically, we put it this way here. It's what they call the Elohim. Those are the children that was left behind by the angelic realm. That's why the system of things that they put up for mortals in their gene cleansing, which was called eugenics, and they separated the people and gave them different colors. Pink was supposed to represent women, and blue was supposed to represent men. The reason blue was supposed to represent men, blue was the color of the Israelites, but the color blue was only after the green, right? That was actually the Israelites, and the yellow of the Elohim. Elo, yellow, same thing. The color yellow is Elo, and the green, which the green was a chlorophyll. So, people say, when I teach, I go too fast. No, I'll give you what you need. So in time, if you study, if you listen to this, and it's 21:17, 21:19 right now, 21:19, if you listen to this, you must study this 3-4 times before you can even catch what I'm saying with the first 3 minutes. And then you go over and over and over. Stop trying to say, I'm not doing my job. My job is already done. You see, my job is already done. So I'm just giving you what it is. When they say 19, it means something. Who is they? They is the system of things, and the system of things is in charge and control of the things that you let them control. They don't control everything, and they don't want to control everything. But those who are uncontrollable, those who are not in the law is out the law. Those who not help making the law, those who are breaking the law is out of the law. So they have to control, else we go into chaos. So now the strategies that they use, right, is not the same strategy that I would use as an angelic being. Yes, I am an angelic being, and you can be too. Okay, so it says, this is why it is called supreme mathematics. There is no number that can be deciphered to suppress these two numbers, 1 and 9, because all other digital numbers fall between them. This shows you once again how all things are between the hands of the Most High. In fact, the very number 19 is 10 plus 9. The number 10 is 1, which is equal to 9. The 0 connected to the 1. So it says 101 equal 1 to the first power of 1, or 19, which I'll show you right here. Okay, so now on closer examination of the structure of the figure 9, you see that it's a combination of figure 1 and the cipher 0. The adjoining of the two separate sections can either give you 01 or 10. Now, in Ashuric Arabic, this number is written as a dot. The dot represents the cipher. In the Ashuric Syriac Arabic is called Shafir, meaning 0. And this was its original form called a nukta. The 0 or cipher represents a complete circle. So we see 101, or 1 to the power of 1 is 19, is the key to finding the mathematical code. When the Quran was revealed to Muhammad, the code of the number 19 was placed over it so that man would not tamper with it. I'm not talking about the Muhammadans, Muhammad, who is a fraud. Now, there's 2 Muhammads. Okay, now get this straight. Everything people do, they try to duplicate, replicate You see, and officiate. So the name of the other Muhammad was Musalimat ibn Habib al-Hanafi, which means the submitter, the son of the beloved, the upright. It was revealed with vowels because it was in ancient Syriac Arabic, which was the original language. The Quran was in a perfect state before it was sent down. When Gabriel told Muhammad to read, he was telling him to read from this great book, which is called Kitab, the mother of the scriptures. And that is Holy Quran 43, 3 and 1. But Muhammad replied, Ma ana bakhariyan, which means I'm not a reader. In other words, I cannot read the advanced language. So the angelic being Gabriel revealed it to him in his tongue, which was the dialect of the Quraysh. Now this same here, Quraysh, and we say Quraysh, and you say Christ, right? You say Quraysh, and you say Keres. It's the same etymology, tone, sound. But the definitions from English Keres and Arabic Quraysh, they want to separate it. They want to claim it for them. But those just in the bloodline of Keres also was in the bloodline of Quraysh. Okay, you maintain the 7 seas from the Ishmaelites to the Israelites from Abraham, and Abraham got his orders from the angelic realm or Gabriel. Okay, so now it goes to say, okay, it was revealed with vowels because it was an ancient Syriac Arabic. So they had to put vowels in it. It didn't have any vowels. They couldn't articulate it. They couldn't see it. They couldn't understand it. So they started putting things in it so they can speak it because they could not have this. They didn't have the tones. Okay. So in other words, I cannot read this advanced language. So the angelic being revealed it to him in his tongue. It was the dialect of the Quraysh. This explains the use of the word in the Quran, right? 12:2 and 21:10. All was involved in we. When the Quran was in ancient Semitic and the angels had the responsibility of transforming it into the Quraysh dialect. So when Muhammad said to the angelic being Gabriel, Ma ana bakhariyan, I am not a reader, he was saying, by not using classical Arabic, which is ana lastu min al Quran, that he was not of the readers. When he answered to the Quraysh dialect, Ma ana bakharun, I am not a reader, he was speaking a very bad Arabic dialect, which is still spoken. So right here, we see that Muhammad was saying that he was not a poet like the men of his day, nor was he learned in the scriptures of old. The angel Gabriel knew that it was going to be poetry and equal up to 19. This is the original Tasmiyah that was revealed to Muhammad. Being all things by using the name of your sustainer, the generous creator. If you count the letters of the Tasmiyah, they are also total 19. And this is how it is contained in the first 3 versions of chapter of the Kalat. This is the original Tasmiyah that was revealed to Muhammad within the chapter of the Kalat. Quran 96, 1 through 4. It says, Muhammad, read by beginning with the name of your sustainer who created all things. There are a class of angelic beings called Al-Zabiniya that guard over hell. And it's interesting to note that the first letter of each of these names spells out the Tasmiyah currently used today. So you have Bas, Sin, Meen, Aleph, Lam, Lam, Ha, Aleph, Lam, Ra, Re, Meen, Nun, Aleph, Lam, Ra, Ha, Ya, Meen. We're going to say it again. Bas, Sin, Meen, Aleph, Lam, Lam, Ha, Aleph, Lam, Ra, Ha, Meen, Nun, Aleph, Lam, Ra, Ha, Ya, Meen. So within these letters also, like I was explaining, every letter could be a whole book. See, but in the capital system of you learning in your school, they tell you letter by letter by letter by letter means words. Then what they do, they take out the letter and then they redefine what they have said or created in the word, and then they put two letters together, and then they create something else, and they call that a syllable. See, or see now when they saying syllable, he's saying cell and able, how they can break that word into a cell or a syllable, able to break it into a cell, two letters to mean something, three letters to mean something. They can actually re-scramble it. That's why they put them books out, them scramble books, and take that one word and make different words out of it. So they use certain words for certain tones, for certain commands, so you would definitely be with it. So what we're going to do, we got 31 minutes right here on this here. And you know how it go. I'm not going to go past 31 minutes. This is with the tribal leaders. They don't want me to go past that because I guess they get all, you know. So I'm going to entertain that thought, and I'm going to be right back.